My name is Mike Renick. I'm the senior broker. I'm the team lead with Team Renick Real Estate Services. We're part of that great Keller Williams on the Water family, serving the west coast of Florida, Keller Williams on the Water Sarasota. Our commitment to you is to bring you information that makes a difference. With me, as every Friday morning, is Mike Mailliard, who is the broker agent of MIC Insurance. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Last night when we were discussing what topic we wanted to bring today, he surprised me a little bit. And as always, it's an outstanding idea. He wanted to talk about automobile insurance. And I'm thinking, well, gee, this is real estate and stuff. But then I thought back when I came to Florida, I was insured with a national company. I hadn't met Michael at that point. And I thought, no big deal. I just go to a local office and let them know I'm in Florida. Well, that's not the case. It's different, especially when I came from Michigan, which was a no-fault state. So anyway, I will be quiet. And Michael, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
It's Friday, September 14th. I thank you. And let's talk about automobile insurance. What do we need to know?
Well, the big issue we're going to talk about today specifically is uninsured motorist, as it applies to the base irresponsibility of the majority of Floridians as it applies to their auto coverages. According to the state of Florida, 25% of Floridians have no coverage. Another 27% have the state legal minimum of 0-0-10, which again is 0 bodily injury if they hurt me, 0 bodily injury per accident if they hurt me and somebody else, and 10,000 though of property damage.
So that's not much coverage.
That is literally 10,000 of coverage for your car, max.
Okay.
Now the problem with that issue of play is that many of my clients and new Floridians are coming from states where the term stacked uninsured motorist does not exist.
Okay.
Now the concept is that if I'm in a 2-vehicle household and I purchase a high limit of liability and a matching uninsured high limit also, I can then stack those 2 autos uninsured motorist in the same accident. So if I have a $250,000, $500,000 liability limit with the matching $250,000, $500,000 of uninsured motorist, I get in an accident. So an uninsured party runs a red light and T-bones me. I can use, in my family household, we have 3 cars. I could use all 3 cars uninsured motorist in the same accident.
The coverage for the 3
so
cars.
I've got $250,500 per car times 3 equals $750,000 per person, $1.5 million of coverage per accident.
So you're really, I don't want to use the wrong word, but it sounds like it's kind of the overall umbrella. In other words, you're buying those dollars and they will cover any of the vehicles to the upper limit.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that particular term. The term specifically is stacking.
Okay.
Where we can stack each uninsured motorist on top of each other in a single claim.
So if an uninsured motorist, we're involved in an accident with an uninsured motorist and they're at fault and we don't have coverage for uninsured, what happens?
Well, if I'm struck by an uninsured motorist and I'm permanently disabled, I really have only the assets of that party that are accessible for recourse. Inherently, the party who hits me without insurance does not have assets.
And even if they had a few, you have to spend the dollars to go after those assets?
I would indeed.
Okay. So
uninsured motorist is really as important as liability coverage in Florida. People always carry collision and comp on their cars. That car might be worth $10,000 to $30,000 to $100,000. That's valid. Mm-hmm. But indeed, the bigger risk is not the car. The bigger risk is being struck by an uninsured motorist. So back to the state stats, 65% of Floridians have less than $25,000 of per person bodily injury coverage.
So really what you're doing is that's high risk.
It's a huge risk to a driver with appropriate responsibility. It would be an unacceptable risk. So if I get hit in an accident that's not my fault, the odds are 2 out of 3 that the other party will not have financial responsibility to pay for my damages.
So, for example, because I have a great insurance agent, I carry a liability umbrella policy. That has nothing to do with
Well,
this.
it does. And thank you for the segue.
Oh,
An
thank you.
umbrella policy, written correctly, will contain an additional $1 million of uninsured motorist coverage.
So I have that then.
Yes, you do.
Because I have a great insurance.
So basically,
see how complex this is, guys?
if-
This is not easy.
If I am stacking my uninsured motorist coverage appropriately, and then I have an umbrella policy with the $1 million of excess uninsured motorist, I'm doing the best I can to protect myself from that catastrophic loss.
Because the numbers you shared are high in terms of the folks that carry no or minimal insurance.
Stunningly high.
And
stunningly high.
so it's up to us to protect us and our families and folks like that. So let's say I have a friend riding in my car and it's a personal trip. We're going out to dinner.
Your uninsured motorist applies.
So they're covered in my vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. It's not that they have to have it on their vehicle.
Now, they may have potentially excess coverage available.
And that could kick in if necessary.
Possibly, depending upon contractual wording. Yes.
Okay. So as I've said every week, the field of insurance is complex. I don't even pretend to know much more than the basics. It's absolutely imperative that you align yourself with an agent that has the background, the information, and the desire to keep you current. As I've shared many times, the worst time to find out we don't have the coverage that we thought we had is during a claim. At that time,
my model is to deliver a check, not an apology.
so when we look at automobile insurance, let me just take us down another path real quickly. So I'm from Michigan. Coverage was no fault up there. It was different. It's not just driving to Florida and notifying your agent back in another state you're here. It can be more complex than that. Is that correct?
Clearly, there are coverages that may not even have been available in your prior state that are very applicable here.
Okay. So based on that, then someone wants to sit down with a local agent that understands the Florida laws, the nuances, and make the right decisions.
Insure the big risks. Accept risks. Small risks we should accept on our own.
And can you give an example of a small risk?
If I have a $10,000 car, maybe I don't want collision and comp.
Okay.
Instead, I want to apply that money toward higher liability and an umbrella policy.
Okay.
Because in fairness, cars, I will fix them and I'll pay to fix them, but I don't care about your car. I care about somebody being permanently disabled and cannot work again, or has lifetime additional expenses due to disability.
So those are
the
the big dollars out
Those
there
are
at
the
that
big
point.
dollars. That's what I'm concerned about.
Excellent. Mike, once again, outstanding job. It's my honor to be able to sit here on Friday mornings with you and talk about the general field of insurance, whether it pertains directly to real estate or folks moving into this state, and all the above. So, Michael, thank you. I hope you have a great weekend.
You too.
Enjoy.
Happy Friday.
Are we back? We're going to be back together again next Friday, and I look forward to that. Thank you.